Right, we are down at Grange Jaguar Land Rover again, which is always dangerous because we always end up spending some money. Now, we are sort of spending some money and we are sort of getting some money back. So, we have bought another Land Rover Defender 90 and we've part exchanged our old one in. So, in this video, we are going to talk about why have we changed our 90, and we are going to also look. The 90 we're selling or part exchanging in is the Model X, which is the top of the range. In fact, it is the most expensive diesel Land Rover 90 you can buy. And what we have just bought is the cheapest Land Rover 90 petrol. Now, they don't do in the 90, they don't do the S or the SE. And in fact, in petrol, you can't even get the X Dynamic SE or the X Dynamic SE. You can only get, it starts at the XS. So we have bought a Land Rover Defender 90 XS. Right, let's go and have a look at the new 90 we bought. What we'll do is we'll have a quick look around first impression. So it's Santorini black. So we haven't got the black front bumpers. And we haven't got the black lettering like we had on the Model X. We haven't got the two-tone bonnet. But let's have a look at some of the features we have got. We have got the glossy and shiny covers, the checker plate. We've got the glossy, shiny side trim. So obviously on the Stig, they would just plastic, textured plastic. This is all glossy. We got a lot of glossy black going on here, haven't we, Ben? Right, and we'll talk about what we're going to do to it as well. So there we go. So we have got keyless entry. So this is the Model XS. So the sort of spec level is really complicated on Land Rover. It sort of goes S, SE, X Dynamic XE, X Dynamic HSE, XX, X, V8 and Carpathian. But not all those are available on the 90. The bottom ones aren't. Right, so we have got the keyless entry. We've got the black roof only by virtue of the fact that it's a black car. So we've got the glossy black sort of side bits here going on. We've got the 20-inch alloys. We do not have the tinted rear lights. We may have to upgrade those. What do you think, Ben? We don't have the black rear bits and we don't have the tow eyes, but we can do that. But this one is the P400. So this is the 6-cylinder, 400 brake horsepower petrol engine. That should be a beast, shouldn't it, Ben? We'll do a little thing of things that I didn't think I was going to get. The dealer rang me up and he said, Simon, you've got your Model X. We kind of would like to resell that, and we've got you another one. But it's a lower spec, and I was thinking, oh no, what grisly features? I was going, has it got air suspension, and has it got a digital dash? He's going, yeah, it's all right. So we came down and we were pretty impressed. So we've still got the clear sight rear view mirror, which is kind of handy. So no tow hooks, no tinted, no black colours. Other than that, it's pretty good, isn't it? Right, we'll jump inside, have a quick look, and then we'll go and park the two next to each other, and we'll have a detailed look at the options and features that are not on this one. Things like the rear e-diff and stuff. We haven't got the electronic rear differential. Right, so we've got the keyless entry. We've got 2 keys with this one, which is nice. So we haven't got the wood trim and we haven't got the black. So on these parts are all black and this part is all black and the dash. We've got the illuminated tread plates. We have got the electric seats. Now, I'm still struggling with the 90 seats, aren't I, Ben? And we need to talk about Isofix and babies and things later, which is, we like a bit of family content. Right, and we don't have the black steering wheels around. And we've lost the big screen. We've gone back to the small pivy screen. I was going to do the video of taking the big screen out of the 90, but I've been so busy with some other stuff. We don't have the black headlining, but we do have the sunroof, and we've got a blind up there. Right, should we have a listen to what the 6-cylinder petrol sounds like? Here we go. There we go, look at him. So, it's a bit noisy, but our Stig does that. It revs up into the petrols until they get hot and then it goes down. So we've got 6 miles on the clock. We've got 12-way electric seats, not 14-way electric seats. We've got we've got vanity mirrors. We don't have a sunglass holder. We've got the clear sight rear view mirror. Oh, this was the bonus one as well, wasn't it, Ben? we've got the Frigidaire in here, look. We can chill, and we got the wireless charger. Right, let me drive this out. You can feel me driving out there. We'll park it next to the other one, and then we'll have a little compare. Right. Right, so initially as we look at the two 90s together, first of all you've got to check out my two number plates. Look at that, that's flash, that is, look. If you know, you know. Right, so this is two-tone. The Model X is very distinctive because two-tone, you've got the grey and black thing going on. This one is all black. Right, cool features. One of the things we really like on the 90 Model X is the LED matrix headlights, and this is where basically your lights are on full beam and anything coming the other way, it just dips that bit locally, and the light is awesome and they respond really well. We've done a test on that on the stick and they're brilliant. This has got LED matrix headlights, so although it's one of the lower specs, I was happy to see that. It's also got the fog lights, which we were happy to have. Now they're not so useful for fog lights because how many days a year do we have fog? But they act as cornering lights and give a lot of light in this corner, which is really cool. So one thing that all the Land Rovers have, even our Model S Dig, is they have a radar mounted behind here. So whatever you do, do not mount spotlights or light bars in front of this badge. This badge has a radar. Now this car, one of the features it doesn't have is the adaptive cruise control. So this is where you can be in queuing traffic, zipping along. If the car in front slows, you slow. And then as that one speeds up, you speed up. But it may be possible with some software shenanigans to upgrade that, but I don't want to go into that dark art. But the hardware is there. We have got the radar. We have also got the driver assistance cameras. So we have got lane assist and we've got all the other driver assistance features that we have on this one. It's just the adaptive cruise control we are missing. Right, let's have a look at the engine. I'm not sure quite what we will see, but we will talk about the engine. So this is the 6-cylinder. Let's have a look. Can we even see the 6 cylinders, Ben? What do you see with? Oh, it's got 6 miles on the clock. There we go. Gosh, so this is a mild hybrid. So we've got some mild hybrid technology, but we've got a 6-cylinder petrol engine there, producing 400 brake horsepower. Now, it is worth noting that they said there's the P400 mild hybrid, which what we've got here, but there's also the P400E, which is the plug-in hybrid. Now you would think both starting with P400, they would be petrol 400 brake horsepower, and they are both petrol 400 brake horsepower. You would think they had the same engine, but no, the plug-in hybrid has the same engine, actually has the P300 combustion engine combined with 100 brake horsepower electric motor, which gives you the P400 total. But don't be confused, because this is the real gas guzzling, which is not good, but we'll talk about that. This is a 3-litre 6-cylinder petrol 400 brake horsepower engine. So this should be a beast. It's not a V8, but this is, and I think this is now the smallest. They don't do the P300 in the 90, so this is your sort of smallest petrol engine option, which is interesting. Now it will be interesting to see what the fuel economy is in real life of this compared to the stick, because in many ways the P300 is working harder. This should be, the revs should be lower, and it may well not be as, hopefully not as scary as we think. Let us know if you've got a P400 what the fuel economy is like. So we thought we'd just reflect back. So this is the Model X. So this is pretty much, well, this is the most expensive deluxe diesel version of the Model 90 you can get, and this has got the D300 engine. So this is a diesel 300 horsepower engine. This also has the mild hybrid technology built into it. So this engine is also 6-cylinder. So with both a 6-cylinder, it's an inline straight 6, I believe. Both 6-cylinder engines, petrol, diesel. So this is the most expensive diesel car. Right, let's go and have a look around the inside. Right, so you join us on the inside of the 90. Now, I cannot mention a 90 without my personal bugbear about the 90 is the front seats. Now, these seats are electric as they were in the in the Model X, although they're 12 ways, not 14 ways, as I've already mentioned. And the leather, this is grained leather. You can see it's got like a sort of elephant skin texture to it, where the Model X has the more premium, softer Windsor leather, I think they call it, don't they, Ben? Right, the 90, it's a two-door car, so to get in the back, and the back is a lovely place to be in the 90. It is really nice. You've got this huge back window, and you've got the, oh, I get the name wrong, don't they? Safari lights. Have I got that wrong again? I keep getting the wrong names. Right, but to get in the back of the 90, right, you can't just pull this. You can't, because I still can't get in. So you've actually got to move the seat forward. There's a button that you can't see. There's a button on the, and I can do it. But it takes so long to do it. Okay, it takes so long to get in the back. And remember, you'd have to do this in reverse after you've put the kids in. And there's one other thing we need to talk about while we're on the interior, and that's the ISOFIX. So on the Land Rover 110, you've got ISOFIX on the front seat bracket somehow, somewhere. I've not ever looked. But if you wanted to fit a baby seat, I did promise you we'd talk about baby seats, in the back of the 90, you have got to do all this palaver where you've got to pull this seat over. Oh, I can't. Oh, here we go. Like, you've got to pull this, and then you've got to press these buttons to move it forward. Look. And it takes a while. It's no quicker than the other one, is it, Ben? No. Right, and then you're going to have to get through what's a modest gap to get your baby seat. That's going to be a task. And then you're going to have to lean over, and here are your ISOFIX seats. Now, we do have the rear armrest, so when baby's in the back, he has put his little drink holder there. And we have got the three-way split rear seat, so we can just pull the middle down or each side. It's a lovely place to be in the back. But other than the headlining difference, there's very little interior upgrades. We've got the sound system, I believe, is still the Meridian sound system, exactly the same as we've got in the top of the range Model X. So we can beef it up. Oh, Ben, come and have a look. Look what we've got here. So check that out. We have got two USBs. Now, we didn't have that in our Model X. And what have we got? We've got a USB-A and a USB-A. We've still got two blanks, but there we go. But we've done the video on retrofitting those if you want to add more than two, but at least we've got two. Have we got one in the front, Ben? Let's have a look. Yeah, so we have got the USB-C in the front. All right, let me put these seats back. Bear with me. Right, we're back in the car. So let's talk about some of the features we've got. So let me just, to start it. Right, so you'll notice we've got the heated steering wheel. So we do have a heated steering, which was a nice option. We didn't have that on our base model. Okay, we do have the adjustable column, which is cool. Although it depends. If one of you drive it, if only one of you's driving it, it's, and obviously we've got memory seats, and I think the memory steering wheel function also. Right, we've got the digital cluster. Now, there are some analog clusters, but when you want that full map view, the digital cluster, if this car didn't have a I don't think I would buy a Defender without the digital cluster. That would be too grisly for me. Right, we do have the smaller screen, so the bigger screen goes so far. Now, one thing, I didn't do a video on it, but the bigger screen often, we'll have a look, we'll jump in the other car, we've got it here. A lot of the menus haven't really been optimized to take advantage of the full screen. It's like we've put a bigger screen in, but they didn't really, the navigation's good, but a lot of the other menus, you don't really seem to have the full benefit from it. I'm happy with that smaller screen. Right, okay, let's have a look at some of the features we've got on the screen. So we've got, so if we look at seats here, you got the angle on that, Ben? Yeah. Is the lighting okay? So you can see we've got heated seats, we can heat this, but we can also go cooled. So we've got heated and cooled front seats. Let's go back to the home. We've also got Alexa. I think we can add Alexa here. It's not, we've still got the 360 camera system, which is standard on all, which is absolutely brilliant. I do love this. And as I take my feet off the brakes, or if I indicate, you can see on the screen all that happening, which is really cool. Right, off-road capability. So every Land Rover must be capable off-road. Now, this lacks two things that we have currently on our Model X. The first is the rear diff. On this one, the rear diff, you can lock the rear diff, which means you can drive both wheels at the same rate. So if one, whereas currently on the Stig, if one wheel starts spinning, it applies the brake, to the spinning wheel, and you can drive the one wheel, but with the electronic diff, you can actually just spin up both wheels, which will get you out of trouble, although the Stig has performed unbelievably well. We failed really to get that terribly stuck. And when we did, letting the tyre pressures down made more difference, I think, questionably, than even the electronic diff. The other thing we're missing on here is on the terrain screen, we've got all the modes. We've got rock crawl, we've got everything, but we haven't got the additional mode, which was the, let me see if I can get that to come up again, Ben. We didn't have the mode grass, gravel, snow, rock crawl, wading, so we can still wade 900 millimeters. We don't have the terrain response 2. Now the terrain response 2 doesn't give you any more capability at all. What it does do, it's basically an automatic off-road mode that allows the car to do stuff for you. It selects which program is best for you. Now the other thing we don't have is all-terrain progress control, which is actually just a low-speed cruise control. You can set that at 4 miles an hour, 3 miles an hour, and it will go uphill and downhill at 3 miles an hour, just as if you set the cruise control to 70 on the motorway. So we don't have that. Now again, these are software things that may be configurable. In fact, I would love it if Land Rover would allow you to buy the car, and if you decided you needed these extra features, like on the Tesla, you could subscribe to them for the term of your ownership and actually add those on, maybe through your in-control account. And I'm sure Land Rover will get there cool, because I'd really like to have a way to add adaptive cruise control to this vehicle. One other thing we don't have is the head-up display. Now, although the heads-up display works brilliantly on the Defender, it's something I could quite honestly live without. I'd go, oh, that's cool, but then I'd not look at it again, really. So if you're doing a lot of motorway driving, or some people might like that, but for me, I can, although it was cool and I'd love it, I can perfectly well manage without it, and I won't miss it one bit. We've already discussed, I've now got a fridge, and we've now got a built-in wireless charger, and we'll see how that works. That should come up on the screen. Right, we've also got USB chargers. Look, we have got a cigarette lighter here, we've got USB-C, USB-A here, and we've got a USB-C fitted here. So clearly the supply of the components is starting to come through. So Land Rover have got all the extra bits coming. Again, you can see here this sort of grey dash. What have they given me in the glove box, Ben? Oh, there was one thing that's been deleted. Let's go to the back and take a look. So what have Land Rover given me on the rear of the Model X that they've taken away from? Oh, I'm joking, Ben, it's here. On our spec sheet, it said no rear net, but that looks like we have got the rear net, which is the rear parcel shelf, which is just the most ridiculous thing. I mean, look, it's just like a sort of cat hammock thing. I don't even think my cat'd fit in that now. She's been eating some pies. Right then, but there we go. So, right, we also do not have the 240 volt power outlet. Now, I have never used it. I mean, we haven't used the Model X extensively. Hardly at all. Let's be honest, we've done more taking apart than we have driving of it. But my biggest problem with the model, with a lot of these Defenders when we're doing off-road trips, is the battery life. Every time you open the door, the PV system wakes up and it drains the battery. I'm really scared that if I started plugging laptops and stuff in the 240 volt charger, I'd have even less charge. So one thing I'm not brave enough to use would be the 240 volt power outlet. So I am not gonna miss that at all. Right, so there we go. So on the Model X, we have got the deployable tow bar that electronically appears from nowhere, like that. We have got the orange tow hooks. They call them orange, but are they orange, Ben? Or are they red? Debatable. We have got the smoke lights. These have all been taken from me on this lower model, but they have given me nearly £20,000 back. So one thing we haven't talked about is price. Now that beauty there was about £87,000. This beauty here is about £68,000. So this is nearly £20,000 cheaper than that car there. And you will note the wheels are exactly the same. The brake system, I believe, is exactly the same, other than this one has got flashy red painted brake calipers and this one hasn't. So, right, so we have no hooks, we have no tinted rear lights, we have no black painted rear bumper. We still have the camera system, we still have the camera washers. The spoiler here is aftermarket, we've added that we will add the spoiler to this one too. Now, one thing I cannot do a video about the 90 on is without mentioning the rear seats. The rear seats are limited on these cars, so you can push the seats down, but if you pop the headrest down, okay, that is as far down as these seats go. Right, now this aluminium cross member, now you can get them to go a little bit more by pulling out the base of the rear seat, and I will do a separate video on that. But this aluminium cross member is here to stay. This is well and truly bolted in. Believe me, I've taken it out and stripped the whole back out. So you are never going to be able to remove this unless you do a sort of conversion, and we're working on a conversion to do to delete the rear seats and make a completely smooth black back floor. Right, so we do have the sunroof in both of these cars. So both of these cars do have a sunroof, and in the 90 that's a really nice little feature. The light inside the 90 is really cool. It's a lovely place to be. Standard rear door. In fact, that all looks quite nice in gloss black, doesn't it, Ben? Yeah. We got all the, oh, and we've got privacy glass on this one. So one of the things you get on the XS is the gangster style tinted back windows, which is great. Now, one of those things I've never noticed before, I've opened that door 500 times. I've never noticed how white it would be much nicer if that was black, especially with the tinted windows. It looks a bit in your face. Right, there we go. So that is the back of the 90. Then we have got the clear sight rear view mirror, which is brilliant. Right, just check my notes. Look, I do prepare for these videos, honestly. Right, one thing we haven't got on our new one, on the old one we had these roof rails, which gave you something to clip your accessories, crossbars, whatever into. This one, we don't have any roof bars, so we are going to have to do the video of fitting the roof bars. Oh yeah, did I take my AirTag slide out of these, Ben? I'll have to check. Right, now we know that there are chip shortages and component shortages at the moment, and there were two major things missing on the Model X, and it was the USB charging points. They were missing from both the dash and the rear console. We've got those back here. At least we've got two in the back, not the full four, but two's probably okay. The other thing that we're missing is the locking petrol cap. So let's lock the car. Let's press the button, let the mirrors fold in. Have we got the locking petrol flap? No. So due to component shortages, there is still no locking petrol cap provision on the new 90. The only thing I forgot to mention, Ben, was that we have ambient lighting. So we could get the mood lighting on the interior. We can go from pastel shades of pink to reds and all sorts of other colors. So, right, there is our new Model 90. So why have we bought another Model 90? We've got the Stig. We love the Stig. The Stig is part of the family. The Stig is going nowhere. We wanted to develop some parts for the 90, so we bought the Model X. There was a cancelled order at the main dealer. He rang us up and said, Simon, if you get down here, you can have the Model X. Now, 3 months have gone by at least, and he said, Simon, how are you getting on with your X? I said, oh, I like it, it's okay. He said, well, I've got this one here that is also a cancelled order. Would you like to buy this one? And I'll give you all your money back for the Model X. Now, that to me was a good deal. And if you're after a good deal on Land Rovers, give Tom at Grange Land Rover a call, and he will put you on his list. If he gets a cancelled order or if he gets an allocation, he will better sort you out. He has sorted us out with 2 Land Rovers, so thank you. So we are collecting this one today. He is taking that one off us, and he is giving me £20,000 back. So we can hold this one for a few more months. We can do some more tricks. Let us know. Right, what are we going to do on this one, Ben? We are going to put the spoiler on again. We are going to put the molly plates on the back. We are going to put the reversing lights on this one. We are going to upgrade this rear to the black. We're going to head slightly down a James Bond-esque limited edition, aren't we, Ben? We don't want to violate anyone's trademarks or anything, but we're going to go black. We might put some subtle matte black graphics on here. I can see maybe a 90 somewhere, Ben, or something, and I think maybe the bonnet graphics. We'll get the roof bars on, we'll get a light bar on, and we'll try and do a light bar that mounts either to the roof rails or mounts to this front section here. We're making progress with the CAN bus switching so we can get the light bar to come on. So I think definitely light bar. We'll put the dynamic side repeaters on. Yeah, we'll get the light guards on the front. Oh, we've got a new grille coming. So in China, they've produced a grille with a light built into it. We are going to buy one. We are going to test it. It's not our design, but we like to buy everything that's going. Check it out. Lettering, we will buy the genuine Land Rover lettering, won't we? And we will upgrade this to the black lettering. We could put the black cover on here. We'll do that. Let us know any other videos we need to do. Sorry we didn't get round to robbing the screen out of this one and putting it in this one, but we'll find another way and another time to do that. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. That's all the paperwork done, and we've got 2 keys. One thing I meant to mention, not all of them come with 2 keys, but we're blessed again. We had 2 keys on the last one, and we've got 2 keys with this one. We just spotted this behind the glass. Look at that. I can tell by the exhaust, that's a V8. So some lucky customers getting a brand new V8. There you go. Enjoy it. Let's go.